What's going on, everybody? This is MDENT313, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Listen, we got a very, very unfortunate situation, right? It's a woman that has come forward and claimed that in the Miami Heat VIP room, the woman is unnamed, by the way, but in the Miami Heat VIP room, that the Miami Heat team and Conor McGregor has SA'd her. That's all that's right now that's being reported. And man, this is very unfortunate. I've never seen a situation quite like this one, right? The closest I've seen to a situation like this, it didn't have SA involved, but it had a team involved. I forget the young lady's name. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. But she claimed that the majority of the Phoenix Suns basketball players, this had to be about 3 to 4 years ago, that the majority of the Phoenix Suns basketball players, she let run a train on her. Now, she didn't give names and she didn't give specifics, but, she alluded to, it being some popular players, if you will, right? As well as some non-popular players, but man, this one is wild. And it makes you wonder, right? How much of this stuff is true and how much of this stuff is, in the words of Corey Holcomb, a lick by lawsuit, where, you have opportunistic women who see that they can come up on some money by just making an accusation, or can threaten you with a allegation, and what is it called, when they pretty much they blackmail you, for the most part. That's what it is, pretty much blackmail, where they tell you that they're gonna go to the police even though you didn't do anything wrong, but they know that you're gonna lose endorsement deals. You may lose your job, you may lose your career, you may lose sponsorships. So in their mind, you're gonna pay them. A lot of them don't really want to go to court, which is why a lot of these cases end up being civil matters, right? But it makes you wonder, right? At least for me personally, I don't know about you guys. It makes you wonder, at what point are people, the guys who own, these men or women, who own these major entities, these major corporations, these major businesses, are going to say, hey, you know what? Whether this stuff actually happened or not, it's probably a bad idea to have men and women working together, right? When you look at this situation with Ime Udoka, right? That situation where, he was messing with a few chicks who worked for the Boston organization. Now, is it fair to either party, whether it's man or women, whether you got to say, you know what, I'm going to hire all women, or I'm going to hire all men? It's not fair, but it may be a necessary evil, right? Or you may have this department that's women, this department that's men, and you somehow keep them separated. And I remember Shannon Sharp, he told a story about how he got accused of some egregious stuff that he didn't do, right? And he said, ever since that situation happened, I will never get on an elevator with a woman. He say, if I'm getting ready to get on the elevator and the door open and there's, one or two women, I won't even get on the elevator. I'll just, catch the next one. So with that being said, it makes you wonder, at what point are these corporations going to be like, you know what, enough is enough. We losing too many good employees. We losing too much money. We taking hits on brand deals, and we getting sued for all this money. It's just not worth the trouble, right? And in my opinion, the only way to, you may not be able to stop it completely, but the only way to at least slow this stuff down is you're gonna have to take drastic approaches, right? Whether it's, you know what, if a woman make a claim like that, if the woman is proven to be a liar and proven to lied under oath, we're gonna give her prison time to at least make women think. May not stop them, but it'll at least make them think. Before I make an accusation like this, and before I try to ruin somebody's image, ruin somebody's name and likeness and financial opportunities, I can get prison time for this. Serious, hard time for this. Or these corporations may have to say, you know what? I'm going to decide to have a all-male staff or all-female staff. Like when you look at the situation that's going on with the Fox, with the Fox network, and then you got, you know, Skip Bayless is involved, Joy Taylor is involved, Emmanuel Acho is named in the lawsuit as well. It's by a hairstylist who claimed unwanted advances was made at her by Skip Bayless. And then, you know, she also made accusations that allegedly Joy Taylor was, you know, sleeping her way to the top. So the only way to prevent stuff like this is to make drastic changes, right? I've seen women complain about, you know, they having a hard time communicating with their male bosses to get promotions because the male bosses are scared to be alone with them and have a conversation because anything can be said and you're automatically held accountable whether you did something or not. You know, if you did it, of course you need to be held accountable. But could you imagine having an accusation like that on you as a man and you didn't even do anything? So changes need to be made. Laws and legislation need to be passed to prevent things like this from happening. You know, or maybe if it's feasible, I don't know how feasible it is. I never owned my own business. I worked for companies, you know, quite naturally, but I never owned any business. I also never worked in, you know, the white collar, you know, I never really worked white collar jobs. Most of the jobs that I've primarily had have been all blue collar, and my field is a male dominated field. You know, you rarely deal with, you know, women in general, and because just in the field that I'm in, a lot of women, they don't want to get dirty. You know, you get dirty, you get greasy, you get messy. It's extreme weather conditions that come along with this job, or in jobs that I've had in the past. So, you know, it's pretty tough on you physically. So, you know, not many people are going to want to work in this industry, right? But if you're somebody who works in corporate America, you know, you may have seen these situations happen, you know, often, you know, whether the guy actually was making advances or, you know, a lie was placed on him. You know, you never know. I've heard stories of, you know, where women, how can I put this? Where, I'll give an example. I've heard stories to where, you know, a guy come in and the woman would be very flirtatious with him, right? And, you know, being a guy, you just kind of laugh it off, play it off, you know, cool, you know, it brightens up your day, if you will, right? And, you know, the guy was being flirtatious back, allegedly, right? And everything was cool that particular day. Well, the next day, you know, the guy, you know, he was thinking everything was all good. It was, you know, the same as yesterday. And I guess that woman wasn't feeling it that day. She wasn't in the mood for it. You know, something was going on in her personal life. And that guy who was making a pretty good chunk of change was called into the office and he lost his job. You know, very unfortunate, right? But this situation is interesting because this particular situation with Conor McGregor in the Miami Heat team, and it involves a lot of people. And let's say hypothetically, let's just say it's true. We don't know how many players were involved, how many people were involved, because it's still new, it's still fresh, right? So once the stuff goes public and you can look at the actual lawsuit or court papers, it's kind of hard to really say. But let's just say hypothetically it's 4 or 5 or 6 players, 7 players. And what do you do as a team? Do that mean that your season is shut down, or do you just pick up a bunch of people off the waiver wire and just pretty much throw a team together, and that's just the end all be all? And if you know about Conor McGregor, he just lost a SA case where he just had to pay a woman over there in Ireland in his hometown for a similar situation. And the bad thing about it is, once an accusation like that is made on you, especially if you ended up losing a case, it's always going to be in the back of people's mind. And if you are brought up on those charges again, it's going to look very believable because you already had a jacket on you, right? So this is a very unfortunate situation. I'm waiting for more details to come out so I can give you guys more information. But man, if you get a chance, check it out. I caught it on the Newsbreak app. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section, man. Conor McGregor and Miami Heat players allegedly, did some egregious things to a woman. It's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. But like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.